Hello everyone, I'm SuperDazza.
And I'm Purley.
And welcome to the SMITE Community Podcast, the podcast where we focus on the SMITE community from the past 2 weeks, whilst Purley knows absolutely nothing about it. We're back. It's number 8.
One of these days we should switch roles. That'd be
I was actually thinking about saying, hey everyone, I'm Purley, and just seeing your response.
Oh god. I would have just left. I'd just shut down and just fall asleep. I can't deal with that.
Yeah, I know. That'll screw you right up. We have a very busy week, or couple weeks, to go over. There is one thing that happened, so obviously this podcast is about the community. If you didn't know, of the game, we don't go into any esports or anything like that. There was a big topic in the community this week, over the last couple of weeks, about a specific streamer who used to work at HiRez, that we are not going to...
I already know which one.
I've decided to not talk about, as we don't know much about it, and we have nothing really to say on the matter. But 520... Patch 520 was 520 Blazer. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. That's I think that's right. Was announced yesterday. We're recording this on a Saturday. A Necessary Darkness is what it's called.
Ooh.
That's I think one of the best names they've ever had.
That's really I've forgotten the word.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
That was
it's incredibly, I forgot the word, yeah. So, the
very suspicious, okay, that's going to really annoy me.
I'm going to carry on.
Go for it.
Well, I like how in the...
Ominous.
Yes, it is ominous. This is the patch that they'll be playing Worlds on. Obviously, that's esports related. Not going to go into too much about that. But Worlds is a big thing. You know, even outside of the esports stuff, it's a big place for SMITE to get together. You know, not just for esports.
It's a community event. Community.
Exactly, and so they've announced the HiRez digital loot pack for this year, which has been rumoured to cost 1,500 gems, which has a ton of stuff in it. I swear this didn't have as much stuff in it before, like in the other digital loot packs. It's got 4 skins, 6 other cosmetics, and 750 fantasy points, and a divine chest roll. That's a lot of stuff for 1,500 gems. Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
Wait, 300 gems, do you say?
No, 1,500 gems.
Oh, okay. Jesus. I was really confused there. Oh my god.
That'd be fantastic.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes more sense.
Yeah. But, yeah, to be honest, this is the patch that they're going to be playing on at Worlds, and... which means there wasn't huge changes at all, really, apart from on Hera, who isn't actually going to be able to be played at Worlds. We'll get more into Hera later on, because she was a very big topic over the last couple of weeks. She came into live, and some changes have been made to her this patch. But see, the thing is, right, I had a whole kind of topic in mind that I would just go through people's opinions on Hera, because she's very underpowered right now. I don't know how much you've played with Hera in the game, in games at all.
I haven't played SMITE in a while. I've been really busy.
Fair enough.
So I have no context for this, but I'll pretend to know what's going on.
Yeah, just nod your head. That's fine. I mean, they won't see that. It's a podcast.
Yeah, this is pointless.
That's great podcast content.
How do I verbally nod my head? I'll say occasionally.
Hit your head on the microphone.
That's not a good idea.
Don't do that.
I'm not gonna do that.
Thanks. So Hera was underpowered. I think is the general opinion. And what I was gonna do was say a load of people's comments from the community. But she's been changed a whole bunch in the patch. So to be honest, I'm probably gonna go through those like things that people have said about her. But essentially what they've done is like they've changed every single ability, including her passive. They've buffed all of it. So she now gets her 1 using her damage from her 1 and her 2 reduces the cooldown of her 3 now.
Okay.
Increased base damage to her 1. The 2 now slows. The 3 has an increased shield health, and the ult and Argus has increased deploy range, increased maximum leash range, increased protections, increased health, increased crash landing damage, increased attack damage, and increased second attack damage. No, sorry, not increased his second attack damage. Reduced self movement penalty on his second attack.
Argus is going to be a bitch.
And increased slow duration.
Fight.
Well, right now, from what I've seen, he can be annoying, but if you can escape him, which the majority of gods can, you're probably fine. And also, he dies so quickly that he's not a huge threat. I don't know whether these changes are going to affect that at all. He's getting 500 more health at level 5 now, and the protections have been increased by 10.
That's
all
a
ranks.
massive protections buff.
And okay, so he had 50. Okay, I didn't realize this. He had 15 magical protections before, and scaling physical protections. He now has 25 to 45 of both protections.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I think it was well deserved. I think. Hopefully they don't go the same way as Pele did, who was released. Balance probably a little bit underpowered.
God, I'm dying.
Shut up.
Sorry. Sorry.
I'm talking.
I'll die quieter.
Yeah. Hopefully she isn't.
But no one cares.
I've realised I'm rambling. I'm rambling, but hopefully she isn't. Hopefully it's not going to be the same case as Pele, who was like kind of balanced, maybe a little bit underpowered when she was released, and then one patch just changed her into being OP. We'll see. I'll stop rambling now. Do you have any opinions on this? Fantastic. So we'll move on. We'll go back to Hera later. Thank you.
Sorry, I've literally played one game against Hera.
And what was your opinion on her?
The polymorph was annoying. Argus was annoying, but not that influential. Like, it was kind of... Argus felt kind of like a... Okay, I'm a support main. I was playing, I think, Athena at the time. But Argus just felt like this little annoying fly that I needed to kind of swat off and just get rid of for a bit before I could carry on. Instead
like
of being
a
this
kappa.
Massive impactful thing. Yeah.
Little bit of a size difference, I guess. So
size doesn't matter.
Size doesn't matter, no. It's how you use it. There's a ton of bug fixes in this patch. Again, ready for Worlds. Project Olympus has got a new thing. Escape menu has been updated artistically and functionally. So we'll have to wait and see what that's about. And functionally. Well, they did say in the patch notes that there was like 4 Project Olympus things that were coming. Like, I think this patch that people have wanted for a while. And that is the only thing that's listed on the patch notes for Project Olympus. So maybe it's 4 things with the escape menu that...
I'm intrigued because they've been like artistically changing things for a while now.
Yeah.
But a functionality change for like effectively the main menu when you're in games.
Yeah,
is interesting.
I think they'll get rid of Facebook Live.
Is there a Facebook Live button?
Oh yeah, press escape stream for Facebook Live, which is.
I'm sure that's been pressed
useful.
A whole 2 times, probably by Pon testing that it works.
But that is it for patch notes. That was it. That was the only. Hera was the only balance change. There were no item changes.
Well, it's coming up to Worlds, so they're trying to not shake the meta really, so pros have a chance to like really settle in and figure it out, and not like need to be playing it constantly to figure it out and box out a new meta.
Exactly.
So fair enough.
Yeah. Worlds.
We're gonna have a season 6 patch to talk about in a podcast at some point. God, that's gonna be a lot of effort. Okay.
Oh, we'll have to do like a separate podcast for it.
We could actually, yeah. Just a patch
cool.
podcast and a community podcast.
Oh, I did want to point out also the pun in the new Terra skins name, Terra.byte.
I saw that. I facepalmed really hard when you first sent me the link to these patch notes. I was like, these are some cool skit. Terra.byte.
Did you see the Kukulkan skin?
Yes, Kukulkan's a doggo.
Well,
it's amazing.
Actually, they had some trouble with patch notes. The actual show, they
doesn't surprise me.
No, like a big one. It was like 25 minutes long. The patch notes. They had a technical issue. They said from the start they had a technical issue where they couldn't go into game to see the skins. So what they're doing is on Tuesday at 3 p.m. their time, Eastern, I think. They are going to do another patch notes. They call it like the community talk or whatever, or community patch notes or whatever, to go through those animations.
I feel like that's kind of a good change to have anyway, to be honest with you. Have kind of a separate balance and god section, and then like a skins. Here are the new skins in the patch, kind of patch notes later on.
Is it necessary?
Well, I don't know, because there's a lot of people that like just want to see the skins for now, and there's a lot of people that, you know, watch the patch notes going, oh, why are there so many skins? I just want to get to the balance.
Well, I mean, they do the skins after the balance, but yeah, I guess the people that want to see the skins and not the balance shouldn't be playing the game. I mean, prefer to.
That is a weird Venn diagram of people that care about the skins but not the.
Which might be why they changed it up and put the skins at the end. Anyway, moving on. We've got a lot to talk about. We'll move on to Hera a little bit more with the community. Yeah, Hade. We're moving on to official stuff now that HiRez has said. We've actually got more this week than we had last week, which was 0. There
was some stretching of time last week.
Three quite big things as well. So there has been a lot of hints and changes to the game implying we are getting cross-platform play.
What?
I want that simmer a little bit.
How is that? But
so 10 days ago, they made a blog post called Steam Linking Details and FAQ, where they spoke about people linking their Steam account with their HiRez account, which they will get people to, like, they'll have to do it at some point in the future. It's optional right now, but everyone has to do it. And in the FAQ part, there is a question: cross-platform play! ! When, where, how? ? Tell me all the things. And the answer is the team is excited for this step towards cross-platform play. There is still a ton of work to do and lots of hurdles that need to be worked through. But we'll share more details as soon as we have more information.
Yeah, I'm really skeptical of that.
There's also in the user interface tab of SMITE a enable cross-play toggle. Why that's in the UI,
Okay.
I don't know.
I think that's a good way of doing it, because obviously cross-play is not going to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, it's much easier to do things well on PC than it is on a console. Not to mention that it's quicker to like do VGS and all these sorts of things because there's more buttons. So I think an opt-in system is best, because if you just made like the casual queue, make it cross-platform, or you could do a cross-platform queue, I guess. I don't know, but you'd need to leave the option there to not do cross-platform, because it's not fair.
Yeah, I'm not entirely... I have absolutely no idea how they're going to do this. I mean, the fact that they've put something in the settings might indicate that people get to choose whether they have cross-platform play or not, but if it's in the UI, that might just mean being able to view what platform they're on. Like, on the UI.
I really hope it's optional. That you can't force. That'll be just a dip for console players, especially because probably over half. Because I think there's more PC players than console players. If it was compulsory, then console players would have over half of the people in your game have an unfair advantage compared to you.
Right.
Which is just BS.
Well, HiRez comments on this saying on Reddit saying honestly they should do cross-platform play, and they should take notes on how Fortnite does it regarding PC to consoles. I think Xbox and PS4 should automatically be playing together. But
that's fair enough, I think.
But regarding PC, if you are invited by a PC player, you should automatically be on the multi-platform server, playing against PC people while playing on console. However, I'm excited to see the cross-platform. More players means better matches and new competition. I play against the best players on Xbox all the time. It'll be great to play against Masters and Grandmasters from PS4 as well. This is really awesome.
Well, I think Ranked definitely isn't going to have cross-platform. I think that can't be fair, surely. Yeah,
I'm not entirely sure. To be honest, it's very good Xbox and PS4 getting it.
Yeah, that's a good.
It could ruin PC. I'm skeptical.
I don't think it would ruin PC.
I think it depends how they implement it. If PC was integrated,
I think it would hurt consoles more, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know.
It would induce
we'll have
a lot
to
of
see
salt,
how they.
Though.
It's a very up in the air thing. It all depends how they do it, and it might even be a season 6 thing. I don't know how far along they are.
A season 6 thing would be interesting, and they could make a lot of balance changes around that as well.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. We shall see.
We shall.
That's
a very interesting but risky proposition.
Yes. Well, the next thing we're going to get onto is The Reaping, Part 5. So The Reaping is a Halloween event that SMITE do every year. Monday and Tuesday next week, earn a free Enigma chest roll for 1 first win of the day, and at 3 first wins of the day, you receive a cutesy avatar chest. Wednesday and Thursday, you earn a free Enigma chest roll for 1 first win of the day, and if you get 3 first wins of the day, you receive an Odyssey chest. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday have for every 3 first wins of the day, get 30 gems. for a total of 90 over the weekend. And chest sales. Oh, and also those Friday, Saturday, Sundays, 2 times favour worshippers and XP. Boom.
Woo!
That's that.
Free stuff.
Free stuff. And the biggest announcement we've got over the past 2 weeks. SMITE on Twitter have announced that Zhonger is getting a skin in December.
Zhonger can get skins?
And it's not going to be a Christmas skin, apparently. It's going to be a big, like, non-event... Oh, okay, I don't know about event, non-event, but it's going to be a non-seasonal skin. So it's going to be a big one.
A Christmas skin would be cool for him, though. Like, giving out presents.
Someone said, oh my god, yeah, like a Santa Claus Zhonger that we got for backers. Well, actually, someone SMITE replied to someone on Twitter saying recolor, calling it now. They said nope, full on skin, and it's going to be amazing.
I think he should get the tier 5 next year. He's deserving.
Honestly, yeah.
Been waiting so long.
They should put him on the bracket. He'd definitely get it. But yeah, that is all of the official stuff for this week. Now, I think we should go on to the community thoughts of Hera. How they thought live at Hera right now is, because there's a lot of different opinions out there. We'll quickly glance at all of them, because obviously you don't have a huge opinion on Hera. But
I have an opinion.
Allsmighty on Reddit says, please
That's
don't
a very
hype
good
up.
name.
Please don't hype up gods like Hera again. It really isn't worth it. I like Hera, she's unique, but for the amount of hype they gave her, I'm pretty sure we all expected something more fresh and new. Please don't do this again with 99 and 100, especially since they are already so hyped.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like hype in general. Past the point where you know you're going to get it, or you know you're going to, I don't know, watch the film or play the game with this god in it, play as this god. Any hype is just raising expectations, which means that you'll either be like, oh, it met my expectations, or you'll be just disappointed. Hype
fair
doesn't
enough.
make a lot of sense to me.
It also gets the community like together consistently. I don't know. I like hype personally. I think at the time I like the hype. I don't know about afterwards, but
yeah. But if Hera wasn't hyped, then now we wouldn't be as disappointed. And if she was released and she was really good and it was really interesting without hype, then it's like, oh my god, it's amazing, and you freak out because you weren't expecting it.
Yeah, I think they just have a lot of more time to hype things because they spend longer on gods now.
True. They need to hype them because they take longer on them, I guess. I don't know, I have the same logic in my head of like when someone sees a film before you and goes, it's an amazing film, it's the best film ever. And then you go and see the film and it's a very good film, but not the best film ever for you. So
your expectations are too high.
Yeah, yes. It was overhyped.
Yeah.
Also, you have an amazing name, Allsmighty. That's a very good name.
Actually, Allsmighty again says a unique change for Hera that could help make the middle section of her one a bit wider and make it stun polymorph targets. They also HiRez released a big Reddit post about changes that they were and weren't going to do to Hera and for what reasons. And I remember one of the things was that they didn't want huge amounts going on with the polymorphed targets. Like someone suggested knocking up gods that were polymorphed, like her one knocks up gods that were polymorphed, and they mentioned about the fact that that's very frustrating, and things like that can be frustrating if something is constantly happening to you. So I don't know. Like again, these were
Yeah.
posts that I found before the changes. So
Sure, it's frustrating, but it's also synergy, and it's a bit of skill based, and it's like, oh, I'm polymorphed now. I need to try and dodge the one, or I'm gonna get knocked up. Has that kind of extra level of depth to it.
But it is just, yeah, I don't know. It is kind of frustrating, especially because you can't do anything when you're polymorphed other than move.
Yeah, you dodge the one.
Yeah, but dodging isn't easy when you haven't got any movement or anything. As in movement abilities. I don't know.
Yeah, true.
And the one's hard to dodge. Makeba Her on Reddit says the missed opportunity with Hera was not allowing her ult to be a switch. The change that should happen would be when Hera ults for Argus, she launches on his shoulder, and then you control Argus, and Argus would have his own set of abilities. The problem with pets in this game is the lack of execution. Something more simple, such as Argus being an alternate character for you to fully control, such as a character switch, would have provided a lot more control to her kit and potential.
I agree with that too, actually. Getting
a whole new set of abilities.
Having
like
your
Fafnir.
whole kit oriented around the pet is not a good idea, because you can't control the pets uniformly. Like, you can't be sure of what it's going to do. It's always a bit uncertain,
cool,
and
yeah.
always feels a bit underpowered.
Yeah, I don't know. Would that be a kind of a thing like Fafnir, though?
True. You gotta diversify the gods.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't.
I'm bad at words.
I'm fairly certain, apart from Bastet, we haven't got an ult summoning, a summoning ult. I might be thinking. I might. Might be forgetting one, but yeah, like it is. I don't know. It would be cool if it was a switch, but then again, we've got one in the game. Could have two, I guess. Artemis. Yeah.
There's probably more, to be honest.
Yeah. Leadhead Fred on Reddit says Hera seems very underwhelming. And
cool.
ALXZ21 on Reddit says
Thanks, Leadhead Fred.
Unpopular opinion, I would rather have Hera be overall weak on release than have her steamroll all my casual games. They can buff her later on at any time, and she will be closer to balance than be broken for months like Baron.
Yeah, but Baron was an extreme because he was bugged, first of all.
Oh, wait. Yeah, go on.
And also Hera is not
shit.
Useless. Like, what did you just do?
I dropped my water bottle.
Is
Carry
that
on.
open?
It's
Okay.
it's fine. My keyboard, however. Yeah, carry on.
That's just a train of thought now. I have no idea what I was saying. You've completely thrown me off. Yes. She isn't useless. Like, she's slightly underpowered. She isn't the opposite of Baron Samedi, as you're putting it, because Baron Samedi was really quite OP. Hera is not very underpowered. Hera is not useless. She's slightly underpowered. And I think slightly overpowered is better than slightly underpowered, I'm going to say, which is very controversial. Because that means that the character is played more and you get used to the character more. And HiRez knows more what's OP. It's easier to nerf a character slightly when they're played a lot than to buff a character slightly when they aren't played.
Sure, but
and then
I
once
think
they return to that hopefully balanced position, you've played against them a lot, you've experienced them when they're OP, and it's not a surprise. If she's suddenly buffed like this, it's effectively a new god. You've got to get used to this character that you haven't seen at all, because no one plays her because she's useless.
But they're gonna be played because they're a new god. Like I feel like it's not like they're going to be thrown away because they're underpowered. Like, they are new and it's something exciting. And I think that's the thing is I've always disagreed with make a god OP on release to get more play, because like
That's
they
not
can see
the logic though.
That wasn't your logic?
The logic isn't. It's a slight difference. It's not make the god OP. That I don't think that's ever the mindset of HiRez, and it's not a good mindset.
Yeah.
But it's like, because you can't guarantee balance. In fact, you can near damn assume it's not going to be balanced. It's better to fall on the side of OP than under P. Under P is a thing that I'm saying now.
It's not even over P.
No, I know. I have no idea why I said under P. OP or under P? That's the question.
Well, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how Hera is in the next patch. Hopefully, I just really hope she's not overpowered. I can't be asked to deal with another new overpowered god. So, moving on now to the other community stuff. Some quick Reddit posts from the last 2 weeks. Cosmic Theos on Reddit says, what could HiRez be doing better at? Just wondering what the community thought about how HiRez was performing, and if there were any constructive criticisms for the company on something they could do better at.
Ooh.
So I'll go through some of the comments. First one from Professor Obvious is support for console. They make updates and then come out with hotfixes, and shite is still broken.
That's because no one cares about console.
Oh, damn. I knew that was coming. The Prince of Gaming 1 says, bugs console and unpopular opinion incoming, a little more for the other game modes. I know a new arena map is coming either next patch or the one afterwards sounds about right, but a few changes to the other modes outside of mid-season and the new season patches would be great. A patch dedicated to Assault or to Joust or to Siege every once in a while would be great for the game, since Conquest is not the most played mode on any platform, as long as I know.
Yeah, but I'm going to address that straight away and say that, first of all, patches aren't released just for Conquest normally, unless it's a new season or whatever, and new maps are released for every game mode. But the game has to be balanced around a game mode. You can't have all the characters balanced in all the game modes. That's just impossible.
I think they might be saying things like, I think more about the map than anything.
I don't think the Conquest map it gets a tiny bit more attention, but
yeah, you're right.
There are new maps very frequently, and there's only been 3 Conquest maps, and there's been at least 2 of most other maps.
Maybe they are talking about gods then. Yeah. But yeah, if they are talking about gods, I agree with you.
It needs to be balanced around something, and since HiRez openly say Conquest is the main game mode, it makes sense to balance the game around Conquest.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree with you.
Other game modes.
They are talking about God. Yeah.
They figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. Trey Harder on Reddit says, in response to this, smaller things but still important. Polish. At least I think it's Polish. Hopefully it's not Polish, but Polish. At its base, they need to be less...
More Polish gods.
Is that a thing?
Polish pantheon? I don't know.
I'm Googling it. The Polish pantheon. Deities of Slavic religion is Slavic.
Oh, Poland... Okay. So
Maybe,
actually...
I don't know. That's what
they want more Slavic gods. Maybe that's what they're saying.
Maybe. Well, they did say afterwards, at its base, they need to be less sloppy with letting a lot of little mistakes through. They are tiny, but that just shows how much they overlook things. It can be as small as making sure all of the abilities are labelled and explained correctly. This just helps show polish. Yeah, I completely agree with this guy. What that is my one thing that I would change. Like, if I worked at HiRez, that would be the thing that I would make sure gets changed, is their quality control and quality assurance.
What do you mean by polish?
Well, I think what Treyhard is saying is, well, is the little things that get that just are wrong. Like, if it could be something to do with the descriptions of abilities. It could be something to do with, I don't know, the UI is a little bit off, or I
don't care about that.
I do, and I think I don't know.
That's just about the
feel. Polish just about the feel of the game. You are not going to be one of those people that says that the balance team need to, the UI team need to focus on balance, are you?
No, the UI team need to focus on stuff like the escape menu and things that are still kind of old-fashioned in how they are.
I think they just need to focus on
I would rather have more new things than have everything there is be absolutely perfect in every way.
But it also
I don't care if the enemy team in the top right is slightly squished. I can still see them.
But it is frustrating to know that the game is they are better than that, HiRez, right? And like it just makes the game look a lot better. Like, especially to a new player, seeing that's awful. That's an awful thing. You don't see that in any other game, and I don't know, like, it doesn't take long, and I know it's bad to assume how long things take when it comes to game design, but it can't take long to unsquish something or center something or change a description, make sure the descriptions are correct, etc.
Yeah, well, I mean, they spend the time to make sure that the descriptions are correct most of the time. They just, I assume, don't have a rigorous system in place which catches every single one without fail. And I don't mind that the odd description, I don't know, misses a capital letter after a full stop. Like, I would much rather the description and writing team spend the time writing out, I don't know, more lore, more descriptions fleshing the game out than making sure every little I is dotted and T is crossed.
Well, speaking of gripes with the game, Edge Drake on Reddit asks, what really grinds your gears in Smite? For me, for Edge Drake, it's supports taking Aegis in Conquest. People, I thought this was going to be more like with the actual game. No, it's with the players. People who take Aegis.
You're the one that knows these things. You should have read this before.
So yeah, I know, really. Supports taking Aegis in Conquest. People who take Aegis instead of meditation in Assault. Number 3 is Aegis. Number 4. Neja and people who play Neja. 5, playing against the Thanatos jungler in every single match. Number 6, Aegis. Number 7, Neja. Number 8, when the mid takes my farm from the Harpies at level 1. Number 9, solo laners who blame the World War II on the junglers because they're getting raped by the enemy solo laner. Edit. Number 10, Neja with Aegis.
I like this guy.
So is there anything that grinds your gears with players in Smite? I don't know. I've been playing a lot of ranked recently. And I was on, but did you know I was like, I think I got 13 wins in a 14 win period. Sorry, 14 game period.
What?
I
so
lost
you were 13,
one game in 14.
You'd lost one game in 14 games.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Where did you climb to?
Well, I was in Gold 4. I've climbed to like middle of Gold 2, so I'm pretty much pro. But
yeah, like It's nearly Masters.
Sign me up now. Yeah.
Yeah. What grinds your gears in your ranked games?
I don't really... Well, because first of all, I've been winning.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Don't change anything. Keep giving me free games.
I don't know. I think it's just people that give up too easily, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, if they get first blood. Oh, good game. It's like, no. Like, there's so much more going on. Like, if you just go get back a little bit, not push up too much without wards, and farm, then wait out a little bit, you are going to be about the same level, not necessarily XP but level, but like, you know, gold, even like gold level, item level,
yeah,
at some point. Like late game,
that's it for me.
Sorry, I was just going to say late game, you all have like all the items. Right?
No, I agree. That's it for me. It's the people that don't seem to... So this is only in Conquest, really. But it's people that don't seem to have the additional logic in there to judge that they're behind, that their opponent is ahead, therefore I don't want to fight anyone, I want to farm. And
well, you don't like it when people farm?
When people don't have that part of... I'm confused now. When
yeah,
people,
so am I. It's not
when
just
people
you.
don't think into it as much to realise they need to just stop fighting and only farm.
Oh, I see, right, the opposite.
Like people that just... They'll push up, they'll die, they'll push up, they'll die,
yeah,
they'll
that's
push
what
up,
I used to be
they'll
like.
die. And it's like, you must be realising by now there is a flaw somewhere in what you're doing, and it isn't my fault.
That's what I did for a very long
so.
time. Like, as in, I stopped that probably, like, more recently than I would like to admit. And, yeah, I don't know.
To be fair, I still struggle with it.
It is a state of mind, and I think now that I take the game a little bit more seriously, I'm starting to think like that. But, yeah, no, I agree with you.
And it's also just people who blame other people. And I'm even going to put it that generally. If you blame someone else for your death, like, a death is not your fault. If Barracuda was playing in your position, he would not have died. If the best Smite player in the world was playing instead of you, they wouldn't have died there.
I would also like to point
Therefore,
out,
your death is partially your fault. And it's nearly always partially your fault. And you need to take some blame for that.
I'd also like to point out the people that actually take the time to, like, because to be fair, in the heat of the moment, I get it, right? I've done it. It's very easy to blame someone, but recently I've just had I've had a bit more reasoning to just be like, well, like, you know, getting off the back of what you said about the pro player thing. Even pro players die as well. Pro players don't have 0 deaths every game
against other pro players.
Yeah, I know. This isn't against you. All I'm saying is they die, and just because you have died once, it doesn't mean that people think you're okay. In general, it doesn't mean people think you're bad. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to blame anyone. Just get back up and keep going. One death isn't the end. And
I mean, it's a different mentality. You need to have the mentality to sit there and be like, oh, I died. At what point could I have avoided this death?
Yeah.
And not just immediately die and be like, oh, I died. That's complete and utter BS. I can't believe that I died there. Oh, it's just wasted energy.
I'm getting ragey.
You're getting rolled up a little bit.
I'm getting really rolled up. Fight with anger. There's relevant name, says teammates who intentionally take my speed buff, solo laners who complain about getting soloed by the enemy solo laner, people who complain about getting ganked but refuse to buy wards all game, and insta-lockers.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, and ages for me.
Oh, Neja. That guy, Edge Drake. It's funny.
Anything else? On the community side of things?
There is one more thing. There was a lot of things. Like, I've got a long list of things here, and it's annoying because we can't go through them all. We just don't have the time. But Gigi Kiki says, why do you still play Smite? Simple survey wondering why are most people still playing Smite? After you.
That's a weird question. I've never been asked a question like that before. I still play Smite because I enjoy playing Smite.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, it is a weird question in the sense that fun is the answer. Like, I feel like that's
but I guess
fun.
the source of the question is, why do you
games.
still enjoy Smite?
Sure. It's a game that's very. It's a game that is complex. It's a MOBA. It's complex. It is complex, and it's something that I have learnt. It's like probably the only, like, it's probably the most complex game that I've played. In terms of everything that's going on, the 98 characters, the however many items, the tactics in game, like it's very complex as MOBAs are, and it's something that I've learnt. It's something that I've enjoyed learning, and
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like it's just I'm just saying I play it because what's the point of leaving it now that I've learnt it, but. It's I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just fun. I don't know. It's just a fun game. I like getting better. I like the climb. I like progress in games. Smite's got a good bunch of progress stuff like worshippers and the season ticket. You got ranked as well. I like ranked, and the ranked rewards. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's the fact that I've got past the point where, like, the learning curve almost.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we spent a while before we understood the game properly, being very angry at the game, and not wanting to play it really because it wasn't fun. But then we've got past that point, and we've been playing it for so long and understand it so deeply that it's kind of. It becomes interesting, and it's the right mix for me between interesting and requiring the depth of thought, while also being very action intense, lots of skill shots. The third person view I think really suits it because it's just this extra dimension of. It makes it more intense, really.
Agreed.
And you got to hit things, and you got to dodge things, and it's fun.
Ancient Temple. Comments on the saying, the mythology, the camera, the modes, the skins, the cosmetic items, the mechanics, and the characters. The game has a ton of problems and errors, but there is still a lot from it that I simply enjoy a lot, and that make up for all the flaws, at least for me. Shen Moki puts it well, nothing else is remotely like it. There are other MOBAs, but there is one Smite. Oh.
No. I don't know why that. It's kind of cute.
That's cute.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I've tried other MOBAs which are more intellectually involved. They're more, you've got to think harder and micromanage everything. And I think they're too far. Like, I like the, not brain dead, but the less mentally involved aspects of Smite as well. With the intense action, the high-paced, straight into it in the early game with fights and boxing matches and trying to avoid poke and stuff like that.
Yep.
Because a lot of other MOBAs actually don't start until very late in the game. Like, it's just who can farm more efficiently for 30 minutes and then fight. And whoever farm more efficiently wins.
Sure.
Not quite.
I know.
But...
I the only MOBA that I've really played properly is Heroes of the Storm, and that's a very different game in general.
Yeah, that's
it's
like
still a MOBA,
technically a MOBA.
It's yeah, exactly. So we'll move on to the suggestions section, which is annoying because one of these suggestions actually has a lot to talk about with time that we probably don't have. But the first one, the simpler one, talking about gripes with the game, Mystic Skies says...
Good segue to the segment before last.
Yeah, allow players to spectate towers and phoenixes when the... I don't know what they're trying to say there. OBLY? The only player alive is DC'd. It hurts to look at the character idling in Fountain. Now, I am going to switch that and say, let us spectate towers and phoenixes and Titan even when there are players alive. We can do it when everyone is dead. We can do it when everyone is dead. We can look for towers, we can watch phoenixes, watch Titan, but not when someone is alive. Like, when there is one person alive, that is the only camera we can see.
It gives a tactical advantage, though, is the thing.
But then why do it?
Because if everyone's dead, you can't say, hey, Nemesis, left tower's being... there's someone pushing towards left tower. Oh, okay, I'll just cut and defend left tower, even though we have no vision of left tower that far up.
You can see that from thingy anyway.
You can't always see a split push if they're clearing way very quickly.
I feel like you can, and I'm not entirely sure why or how.
You can see them when they're in tower range, and you can see them when minions can see them.
I see.
But if they're just like walking up the lane, getting ready to push, you can't see them.
Sure.
Which is why split push is fairly effective.
And Dodge All Wounds 112 suggests character variations. Now, this is a very big topic.
What?
So bear with. How cool would it be to have 2 or even 3 variations on a single character? For example, a second Loki variation. This variation of Loki gets rid of his invisibility, but injects new abilities and bonuses. His one creates a decoy that has a base movement speed of 512 that charges to a target location and detonates at the player's will. His second ability creates multiple variations of himself that follow him and have scaling health. Blah blah blah. 3, Loki teleports to a short distance and gains a scaling bonus on his next basic attack, and his ult, he hops onto his target's body and torments them from the inside, gaining control of his target for scaling time, and can damage the enemy team with their own pawn. Choosing to kill their own teammate will put their teammate on a respawn timer and Loki will be exhausted. There's also an Achilles variation, which I'm not going to go through, but the idea is have different abilities for each god and have the ability to choose the variation.
Well, first of all, I'm not sure why the god of trickery can control someone.
Well,
but
he can control stuff. He
I
can be a different person if we're talking from the Marvel perspective.
Yeah, but he can't control a person. Anyway,
he can't control them, but he can.
I don't know.
Them.
I think that's basically just adding more gods. So why don't you just add another god?
Yeah, I mean, if there is something, I don't know, if there's specifically something like that would suit one god though. Like if there are 2 kits that would suit one god. I don't know. This would need to be very visually obvious as well. This is an example of a suggestion that I put in there, not because I think it should be in the game, but because it's a good discussion point. I disagree with it, kind of, to be honest. It's a cool idea, but probably not great for the game. That is that.
Yeah, I mean, you need to consider... Sorry, I completely interrupted you. I mean, you need to consider stuff like... If you're playing against Loki, how do you know which Loki it is? There would need to be a very, very... Somehow, I don't know how the hell you do this, a very, very clear distinction. Which means probably a different model. Which means it's literally a different god. Like a new god. Can you play two Lokis on the same team if they have different kits?
Yeah. And
that might be a differentiable point.
To counter that, make the character a new god. And with that is it for Reddit stuff, community stuff. On to the end section. Now, you know how we said we weren't going, or how I said I wasn't going to like make it a rotation thing, like, because we've done, the last two have been from episodes 1 and 2, and I wasn't going to make it a rotation thing.
Is it time for...
It's time for...
episode 3. Is it Deja Vu?
Deja Vu. Purely because honestly, I've got about 3 or 4 ideas for end sections, but I need to kind of prepare them a little bit more, and just haven't done that yet.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
I think Deja Vu is a cool one. It's also a quick one as well. It requires less prep.
So you couldn't be asked to do work.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know at home, Deja Vu is an end section where we go back in, what is it called? The Wayback Machine.
We go back in time.
We go back in time to, I guess it'll be 2013 now?
Yeah.
And we point out all of the interesting, fun, different things that we see in 2013 that are, in retrospect, quite funny or interesting.
Yeah. From the SMITE Reddit, of course. So if you want, I'll leave a link in the description to the Wayback Machine. But yeah, so in episode 3 we went over all of 2012 stuff. What Wayback Machine does is it snapshots different points in time which you can go back to on the SMITE Reddit. So we did all of the snapshots from 2012. We're now going to focus on this time the first 6 months of 2013.
Okay, just the first 6 months. That makes sense.
Yeah. And the idea is we're just going to go through it all and
hopefully it'll be funny to
different things.
Look at how different the SMITE community was.
I mean, from the 21st of January 2013, one big thing, the second highest post on the Reddit at this point, looks like Vulcan gets a turret. So this was around...
Oh my god! No, Vulcan with a turret?
So I guess this was around the time that Vulcan changed to a mage from a guardian? Did he not have a turret beforehand? I guess not.
No, I don't think he did. Damn.
And also, new Guan Yu skin, which is the Guanfu, Master Guanfu.
Master, that's a good skin. That
Is it?
I love Master Guanfu.
There's like no animation changes, just a hat.
But it's Guanfu.
It's retro. So it's like a retro skin.
Yeah. Sure, we'll go with that.
Sure.
So I'm gonna work backwards from June, I guess, and you can work forwards from January.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, if you want to do that.
Oh, it's the French Anha skin that you see around quite a lot, where he's throwing baguettes in his pillars of the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I've seen this skin quite a lot. I'm amazed that it's that old.
Favorite duo lane combos. Top comment: Ymir Anubis.
Whoa. Was that a thing?
I guess so.
Damn. People were weird.
Cupid and Sobek. Ymir and Thor. Zeus and Odin.
Zeus Odin duo lane. That's a classic one. Ooh, I found the Reddit post that suggested making Vulcan's backfire mark the first god that it hits.
No way.
Yeah. Apparently
Cool.
that must have not been a thing with Vulcan when he was first reworked a few months earlier.
Yeah.
And apparently because his turrets were lacking, this guy had a few suggestions, and one of them is have backfire mark the first god that it hits.
That's very cool. So that was a community.
Perhaps if they're
feature.
marked, they'll take extra damage.
So there's a community feature. That's pretty cool.
He's got a bunch of other suggestions here which didn't get in, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
But it's cool that they must have. There's no way that they thought of it independently from this. This is quite a unique idea. That's cool. Ooh, Smite God reveal. Athena, goddess of wisdom.
Oh boy.
I wonder if I can get into this. Is it a video or is it?
This is marked as NSFW.
Oh,
Dead.
oh god.
Dead spectating and Aphrodite gave me a strange angle.
I don't want to know what strange angle that is.
I'm not clicking that.
That still happens. That's not unique to the Wayback Machine. That's just an example of how nothing changes. Nothing's changed over the last 5 years. There are still weirdos looking up Afro's skirt.
Oh. World's fastest Minotaur kill.
Domination?
No, that was the old Titan.
Oh, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was actually called Minotaur, wasn't it? Oh, this would be interesting. There's a post here titled Ranked Duo Queue. This sure is relevant.
Oh. Yeah, fantastic.
What we don't like about there's people who have moved over from League of Legends. Wow, speaking is difficult.
Wow. That's fantastic.
I'm gonna try again. This person and his friends has moved over from League of Legends, and they say, what we don't like is that we can't play together on a competitive level anymore. That really kills the fun for both of us. And we'll probably quit the game if they don't implement the duo queue.
Well, good news for you. They implemented it.
Yeah, they're going to implement it in a few years, and then remove it 4 years later.
Hey. But they implemented it, and that's all that matters.
They listen to you.
Kronos concept. Why not?
Whoa. Wait, is that a skin? Is that a god concept for Kronos?
Yep. So seeing a lot of concept for the Titan of Time, Father of the Gods. I feel like this person thinks that Kronos and Cronus are the same person, which I don't think they are.
Yeah.
Like the Titan, but
different pantheons, I think.
So they had the time bomb. Kronos attacks a ground area with a small radius. Any enemy god in the radius is slowed while receiving damage over time. Once time has reached 0, the marked god explodes and deals its AoE damage around them. So that's kind of like Cupid's one. And you can also freeze time at a ground location. Stunning it. It's just stunning an enemy god. Ultimate Master of Time. Kronos turns his hourglass, channeling his power over 3 seconds, resetting all allied cooldowns except ultimates, while increasing all enemy cooldowns by 3 seconds.
That would be interesting. I almost prefer that to Kronos' current ult.
While Kronos is channeling his hourglass, he is immobile and regenerates a percentage of his maximum HP over 3 seconds.
I think I prefer that to Kronos' current ult, to be honest with you.
That's very much a team-based thing, though, and I don't know whether that would suit him.
Well, I mean, considering that he's a mage, no. But if he was like a warrior,
yeah, it's cool. If only he had a different variation.
No. We pretty unanimously agreed that's not a thing. And don't make that a thing.
Smite top 5 plays of the week, number 14. I think bear in mind that they're on like over 100 now.
Oh, this is interesting. E/Smite Hades is talking about, please add apparently they used to, if you DC'd from a game, you wouldn't be able to get back into the game. And this person is very vocal about how annoying it is that you can't get back into a game after you've DC'd.
Oh.
Don't worry, just wait. However long it is, sometime less than 5 years, and they'll add that feature. You're welcome. Whoa. What's this? This is a post titled "A Training Exercise."
Okay.
Which is the name of Chiron's second ability, isn't it?
His first ability.
Is it his one? Maybe they got the idea for the name of Poseidon's one from this post from u/the Whooper 5 years ago.
But Poseidon's one is called Tidal Surge.
Why are you bringing that up?
Because you said maybe they got the idea for Poseidon's one.
Oh. Yeah.
Did you make
Not him.
Chiron?
Yeah. That one.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sure that's where they got the idea from many years later.
I've just found this post from it's a screenshot of the tab menu of someone's game. But I'm just looking through, and literally everything has changed. There is not a single part of this that's the same besides Poseidon's icon.
Poseidon's icon isn't even the same anymore.
Isn't it? It looks the same.
What, God icon?
Yeah.
That got changed with his remodel.
It looks the same though. Looks the same.
Definitely not.
I don't know, but literally every icon for every item, every icon for every god, every part of the UI, it's all different.
Wow.
Just a testimony to, like, the game was released a while ago, but literally everything's changed. Every single god here has been remodeled.
Well, not necessarily remodeled, but recarded.
Has Agni been remodeled?
Yes. I'm fairly certain.
Then I think that's everyone in this game has been remodeled.
I'm googling it. Yeah, he did, because he used to have the Swagni walk, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. And now it just suits Swagni so well. It's amazing.
And they've given it on, like, the majority of his skins as well.
Yeah. Ooh, and the icon for Deathbringer. Wait, is that...
I thought you said the icon
that
for
changed in Season 5.
Yeah, and that.
I just recognise it because it's old. Yeah, they've changed literally everything.
That's fantastic. Do you mean every god's had a remodeled, or do you mean every god's had a re-icon?
Every god here has had a remodel since this.
Who are they?
Agni, Freya, Odin, Poseidon, Sun Wukong, Ao Kuang, but kook.
Yep.
Ra, Thor. Oh, Neith's here. Actually, Neith probably hasn't been remodeled, has she?
I don't think Odin and Ra had either.
Really? No, Ra's definitely been remodeled.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't really know.
Because I'm pretty sure Odin and Ra have both been remodeled.
Yeah.
Because there's the retro Ra icon in game.
Yeah, you're right.
But they have changed everything. Except for something's the same. The game mode called Conquest.
Wow. Okay. Should we do the outro then?
Nah.
Okay. Should we end
Bye.
it there?
Oh, we could actually.
Okay, that's it. Okay. No, I've got some things I want to talk about as well.
Oh, okay.
Quickly. So that was a look back in the past at the start of 2013.
Yeah.
That
was fun. Jinx.
Yeah. Damn.
Bit of deja vu.
Bit of deja vu. What a fantastic name. Whoever came up with that name is a genius.
It's not that good.
It's fantastic. So, thank you all.
Thank you from
Thank you.
from me too.
Thank you very much for listening. Adam, thanks for that. Thanks for listening. It's been great.
Thank you for listening to me rambling.
You're very welcome. And quick thing, SoundCloud is gonna be happening at some point. I want to get it done by next podcast. I'm giving myself that limitation. I'm saying that out loud, so I get it done.
That's a big move.
Because otherwise I won't. What else is there to say other than that? I'm working on some new end sections. I'll also say there's going to be a new end section next podcast as well.
Ooh,
I'll give that limitation as well.
Speaking of teasing things,
Sure.
for those of you that watch SMITE Community Concepts, keep an eye out for next week. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And I'm
Well,
gonna whisper it because it's a secret.
it's fairly obvious that it's going to be a seasonal one of the
Good.
season
Keeping it subtle.
coming up.
No one's figured out what you mean by that.
But not only that, but it's going to be more special than our other Halloween seasonal.
Whoa! Who's saying it's a Halloween? Jesus!
I didn't. That was a slip of the tongue from.
You accidentally moved your mouth in the perfect way to say the word Halloween. That's all that was.
Yeah. It's going to be different from other seasonal episodes. So stay tuned for that. And Speed Arts on Wednesday, as always. But thank you very much for listening, and we shall talk next time. Take care.
Bye bye.